Are you a chameleonian in disguise? Find out in my review of Space Dandy, Episode 12. Dandy and the crew are on the hunt for a rare shape-shifting alien known as a chameleonian. This week's episode was a nice return to form, featuring Dandy and his crew going to an exotic planet, hunting down an alien, and going through a crazy adventure with a lot of great animation, tons of sight gags, and just a lot of hilarity overall, and a lot of creativity. You know, it's kind of funny I say that because this episode actually does remind me of the Cowboy Bebop episode where they had the stowaway alien with that, and it's very similar. It's got a lot of humor, and that's what Space Dandy is known for. However, it's actually just seeing this alien mimic all the different members of Dandy and his crew that really make this one funny. And it's also just seeing them constantly try to hunt down this creature, which in a way sort of reminded me of like a space version of the Roadrunner and the Coyote. I know that seems kind of strange, but that's the way I look at it. But there's also a lot of other little things that make this episode good, aside from, of course, the gorgeous animation. But all the humor this week was really on point. There's this whole bit at the beginning when they're actually hunting for the chameleonian, and QT all of a sudden just becomes obsessed with fishing, and there's this whole subplot where she becomes obsessed with it. She wears like this fishing jacket and hat and glasses, and it's crazy, and it looks like they spend a lot of time on this planet looking for this rare chameleon alien, and over time they do catch this one fish, which apparently is the chameleonian, and that's when it sort of escapes onto the ship and starts to transform into everybody. But what really makes this alien unique is that no one has actually ever seen the true form of the chameleonian, even the chameleonian itself. And that's where the end of the episode gets really interesting. After just a ton of funny scenes of them trying to capture this creature and trying to pass it off to Scarlet, whether it be Meow or when they tied up QT when there were two of them at the same time, it never worked out for them and always pissed me off when they were about to finally capture it. But at the very end of the episode, the chameleonian turns into Dandy, and they do that sort of like classic standoff where I'm the real Dandy, I'm the real Dandy. But this time, instead of doing the whole, shoot the other guy thing, they decide to do like this whole little pop quiz where they do the whole, this Dandy will be the only one who will be able to answer these questions. And it's really funny here because QT's taking it very seriously. She is treating it like a game show. She's actually sort of doing like the do you want to be a millionaire kind of thing. And it's hilarious. Every single time she asks the question, she pauses and gets right up into the Dandy's face. And it's actually kind of funny because at first it's really hard to tell who the alien is. And there's even a point when they start to think, you know what, the alien version of Dandy's kind of cool. I'm sort of down with this one. And then at the end of the episode, the alien just sort of gets passed off to Dr. Gel, transforms into him, and makes him go into this weird mental state where he just sort of keeps repeating the same stuff over and over. But the funniest part of the episode is when the narrator comes in and he starts to explain a little bit more about the chameleonian, how over time, since it doesn't even know what it looks like, it can even forget what it even was, and will just continue to assume the form of whatever it takes. And a lot of the times in the universe of Space Dandy, there could be chameleonians that you've interacted with and never even known about it. Even you could be a chameleonian. So, really funny episode with a lot of really nice concepts and just so many little sight gags. It's a series that begs rewatching. The scene when they went fishing for the first time and Meow had the fly on the hook, he immediately said, "Oh, I just really want to chase that thing right now." Just little moments like that, and there's just sprinkled throughout the entire episode. And of course, all the animation and artwork was really good this week, and you got a double dose of all of the characters thanks to the chameleonian. So, another really good episode of Space Dandy. I loved it so much more than last week's episode, and I really don't have too many complaints with this one. Just a really traditional, funny episode with a lot of really memorable moments. Maybe some of the artwork could have been better in some moments. This really wasn't a bombastic, crazy episode. No planets exploded or anything. There were no crazy time-traveling acid trip type stuff. It was kind of a subdued space adventure, but it was still really worth your time. So I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Really kick-ass episode. Check it out if you're following the series. Especially check it out on Toonami. I hear it's tearing up in the ratings, and we got to support that because we need more anime in America. So check it out, guys. Kick-ass episode. It was dandy. So if you guys had a chance to check out this week's episode of Space Dandy, I would love to hear your thoughts about it. Did you have any favorite moments? Any favorite funny moments? Did you not even care for this week's episode? Remember guys, before you leave, make sure and hit that like button so you can support this video. It really helps them out a lot. And if you want to see more of our content, make sure and subscribe to our channel. Remember guys, you can also check us out on Facebook and on Twitter. I'll put links to both of those in the description box below. So, I'll see you next time guys. Super Kami Guru 9000. Out.